In today's episode, water everywhere. No clue what this does, but it works now. There's always another way. CRT monitor goes blank. Getting a prompt for admin credentials. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Water everywhere. I have worked in the computer IT field for quite a while now. My first programming was on a Z80 processor-based computer, and I'm still amazed by some of the things that happened to Slash because of the users. A case in point, several years ago I was working for a department at a large university, and my phone was ringing as I unlocked my office door one morning. Client stated that when she started her computer that morning that the mouse was going crazy and menus were opening and closing randomly on the desktop. I had heard around that time of a virus that supposedly deleted icons from the desktop and did other random bad things. I honestly don't remember now, it has been quite a while ago, so I told her I would be right there. Arriving at her office, sure enough, it was as she stated. Mouse moving randomly around the screen, menus opening and closing, trains derailing, planes crashing, women having babies, and other random stuff was happening. I immediately reached for the power button and performed a hard shutdown. As I sat there contemplating what might have caused this, I happened to see the water bottle on her desk, on its side, right over the keyboard tray. I turn and look her right in the eye as I reach down, pick up the water bottle, and set it upright on her desk. I saw a few drops of water on the keyboard this morning, but I wiped it off. Do you think that might have been the problem? Me, still looking at her as I reach down, pick up the keyboard, and let the water drain out. Yes, I think this might be the problem. I'll be right back. A quick trip to the supply room and a new keyboard later, and all was right once again. She did try to lay the blame on the cleaning staff, which I didn't buy for a second. Cleaning staff never did any more than empty the trash and did not ever dust the desks. I just told her that to make sure this did not happen again, to never leave an uncapped drink or liquid on her desk. Closers, clueless users, love them or hate them, they're the reason IT support exists. No clue what this does, but it works now. This was my first deployment back in 2017 to 2018 doing help desk. I had been there for about 4 months and became comfortable with AD by this time. Officer is having issue where an application touches the internet, is asking for a password every time he logs in. After putting in his password, his account gets locked out. He calls like 10 times a day, but no one knows the solution, so all we do is unlock his account. This goes on for about 2 weeks before he decides he should just go home because he can't get on his computer and do his job most of the day. I had been Googling what could cause it, but no luck, submitted trouble tickets to our bosses, and they had no clue. I had learned about Attribute Editor in AD a little bit ago after enabling users to make voice calls through Cisco Jabber, and wanted to see if anything was different from my account. After a morning of comparing his account to my account, I noticed the attribute Intercept Federation, or something close, was set to false while mine was set to true. Changed it, waited about 30 minutes, and the password pop-ups went away. I have no idea what that option does, but knowing that a 20-year-old solved an issue that no one else could is good enough with me. There's always another way. I was responsible for onboarding a scientist with a dual PhD in engineering and computer science. We have a checklist that includes things like make a company email, install secondary authentication app, etc. Each time I tried to start one of the items, he responded that he really didn't need that or didn't want that on his phone. I was dumbstruck. I'd never run into any new employee who just noped out of the technology checklist. I advised him to check with his hiring manager, who routed the situation back to me asking for workarounds. And so we did. He was granted authorization to access a shared mailbox on a shared computer for all team communication. For secondary authentication, instead of an app on his phone, he now receives a phone call with a code to enter. We got him an external hard drive that we back up each week so he doesn't need to connect to the internet all the time. His projects mostly involve coding directly on his machine, so there was no need for constant internet connection. And so on. Everyone is happy. CRT monitor goes blank. I work at a large university in the US. One of the top universities, in fact. That doesn't mean that the students, staff, or faculty are any more computer literate than any other clueless users. I had a secretary/receptionist call me at 4:25 one Friday afternoon complaining that her monitor just went blank. Asked the usual questions and yes, the computer was on, the monitor power light was on, but the monitor was blank. Note that this was a 19-inch CRT beast of a monitor. That's how long ago this happened. I tell her I'm in the middle of something, but will be there when I can. I get there about 15 minutes later, and she is gone for the day. Sure enough though, the monitor is blank and nothing I do would revive it. Now it always irritates me when someone calls for help, and when I get there they are nowhere to be found. Since quitting time is only 15 minutes away, I shut everything down and think I'll deal with it on Monday. Monday rolls around and she calls out sick. Okay, all day to test this beast. Turn everything on and the monitor is working perfectly. I decide to leave it on all day and tell the secretary working at the back desk to just shut off the power strip if it catches fire or such like. I return around 4:30 that afternoon and there have been no problems. Shut everything down and call it good. The receptionist called me the next morning asking what I'd done to fix the monitor. I told her I had done nothing, and that it had healed itself over the weekend. I then told her if she had any other problems to give me a call. That Friday at 4:25 she calls, her monitor is again blank. I had learned the reason that she wasn't there the last Friday when I came to look at her monitor was that she came in 30 minutes early and left 30 minutes early because of transportation issues. I told her I would be right there and not to leave before I got there. I get there and sure enough the monitor is again blank. It is as if it is not getting a video signal at all. I knew I had checked all the video connections the previous week, but decided to check again just in case. VGA connection to the computer? Check. Connection to the monitor? Check. Wait a minute, while checking the monitor connection I noticed some drops of water on the back of the monitor. Remember this is a 19-inch CRT beast and has air vents all over the back of the monitor? I reached up on the shelf above the monitor and moved the potted plant that she overwatered every Friday just before going home. I don't know how long it had been there or why there was suddenly a problem, but it was lucky the water had not reached the high voltage side. Yeah, she was waterboarding her monitor on Fridays. Getting a prompt for admin credentials. Been working for BPO IT service desk voice account for some time now, and this story didn't happen to me, but overheard from my coworker. My coworker asked one of our lead the issue of his current call. This made me and the lead laugh. That the caller is calling in cause she is trying to reformat the company provided laptop, but unable to cause asking for the password to get into BIOS. The coworker asked a follow-up question on the reason on why need to reformat. This is the part we started laughing. That she liked the laptop so much she likes to make it her personal laptop, and to do so she needs password for BIOS for reformatting. Our lead was upset same time laughing about the call. Said to asked if she have permission from her direct manager to do so cause every company provided equipment is recorded in the company inventory. She answered no and reasoned out that since she is retiring that the company no longer needs the laptop. My coworker informed her she needs to reach out to her direct manager if she wants the laptop, or if she didn't this would be charged as theft if she didn't return the laptop. She realized her mistake and went to her direct manager. At the end of the call we were all still laughing about the call on how ridiculous was her thinking.